place.
The Rupert River has changed. It is no longer the natural wild river our people lived with for thousands of years. But it was not destroyed as many people feared it would be.
The thunder that you could hear, or the song of the Rupert, is different. It's turned into a whisper rather than a chorus, But, in those days when, the doors are opened in the spring, it can still belt out a pretty good tune.
Cree-Quebec relations were at an all-time high. We were starting to trust Quebec. Then we found out that while we were negotiating the Pays de Brave, Quebec was quietly putting through another piece of legislation. Bill 40 transferred important governance powers in the James Bay region to the non-native mayors.
The government of Quebec transferred the administration of Category 2 and 3 to mayors in the region. They had all the powers to govern, basically, while the Cree were in their little Category 1A land. We didn't really pick it up early enough to do anything with it at the time of the negotiations.
You have to pick and choose which battles you want to fight. And I think at that time, fighting the Bill 40 was not the right time to do it, Because man made laws, man can change them. But you have to create an atmosphere in which that can address that issue. I didn't create it. The government of Quebec, through Premier Charest, created that, and I just seized that opportunity. I saw what he was doing and said, now is the time.
Ensemble, nous avons pris l'engagement que notre projet serait un exemple de développement responsable. Le Plan Nord est un projet ambitieux pour le Québec.
And we made it very clear from the outset that the Plan Nord was first about the people who live on the territory of the Plan Nord. The 120,000 people, including the First Nations, everyone. It first had to be about them. If it wasn't about them first, then there was no point, frankly.
And I think Jean Charest understood that without decree, there wasn't going to be any Plan Nord. So we took advantage of that situation, and we argued for a change.
When I met with Charest, I told him that we need to change the governance structures of the territory.
We have, since time immemorial, a relationship with that territory and its resources.
We want to have a say in what happens in our own backyard. That means we have to abolish MBJ, create a new structure, extend the powers that are now given to Cree Regional Authority, and create a Cree Nation government over Category 2 lands. Category 3 lands, we said we're willing to look at a regional government.
There's these moments in life where there's only two people together, and you face each other and you say, let's do it. And I said to him, I trust you that we can do it. We can do this. And I said to him, we'll have to think outside of the box because this is new. No one else has done this, a governance on the same territory.
Jean Charest had a very clear view of what kind of an outcome he wanted. And throughout the whole negotiations, the communications between the Premier of the province of Quebec and the Grand Chief of the Cree was always not just civil, but clearly enunciated in a way that said, we've appointed our negotiating teams, we have faith in our chief negotiators, we want results.
Then we had to convince the non-natives, the mayors in particular, to do this, to give up. So then you have to change their whole view because you're taking power away from them and to share it with a bigger group. So you have to explain to them why this is in their interest.
Donc, les communautés qui avaient déjà des relations établies avec leurs voisins Cree, même si c'était très peu,
avait une ouverture et avait un sentiment que oui, c'était possible. Mais quand vous savez pas quelle tournure que ça va prendre, c'est sûr que ça a amené certaines inquiétudes. Et ça a amené des inquiétudes, je pense, aussi du côté des CRI.
We were really building upon that, of nation building, of taking back control, creating a Cree Nation government. You know, we were really pushing that.
Our people now had the tools to control the planning and management of what happens on Category 2 lands. On Category 3 lands, there would be a shared regional government.
We agreed to basically create a council of representatives, equal in number, from the Cree and from the white communities. So something of a super municipality with all of the delegated powers, or all of the powers that you find in Quebec legislation related to land planning, land management, forestry, fauna, whatever is, it's all there.
Et moi, ce que je constate et ce que je crois foncièrement, c'est autant mes chefs CRI que mes maires ou mes voisins jamésiens ont les mêmes intérêts. Dans le fond, c'est quoi qu'on veut dans le nord du Québec? Hein? On veut développer l'économie dans le respect de nos communautés, dans le respect de notre environnement.
The bureaucracy's concern was the Quebec representative on that council should have a veto. There should be a Quebec, one position for Quebec. And here's the gutsy part. I came up and I said, no, Quebec can be an observer and no veto. Once you give one group of people a veto, everybody's got a veto. So the test of the proposition underlying this governance agreement in terms of Category 3 lands is whether they can work together.
On a le devoir de réussite. Vous savez, c'est facile à dire de revendiquer des choses, mais là, on a obtenu ce qu'on nous voulions. C'est-à-dire que CRI et Jamaisiens travaillent ensemble, mais on a en même temps l'obligation de réussir et de dire au gouvernement et à ceux qui étaient sceptiques, vous serez confondus parce que ça va fonctionner.
Today, we are making a major contribution to the history of Quebec and to the history of Indigenous peoples of Canada. We have been able to align the broader forces of history with the principles of human rights, inclusiveness, social justice, and harmony. The governance agreement marks a new era in the governance of Eeyou Istchee-Baie-James, where the Crees and the Jamesians will work together to ensure the sustainable development of the territory for their common benefit and for the benefit of all Quebecers. With that, I thank you very much. Miigwech. Says God named the no bunchas. Guys, some snart needs come on. Mistakes in the Mashnano. Says what to be on says, James Shika. Og magen hem tunchano ek, eben basic. Miam gau, eut numkan. Gau jud nenano. Then you knew Eeyou Istchee-Baie-James Arwan is Quebec to ma. Gau jud nenano ne. Ek jano ek eben by Tasik. When I did, I made actually give up with Jano. Which got Jano ek Janano we ate them on. Jano Jano knew we showed you just like a kak Jano ek we ate them dan the white take a Jano ek ben basic.
green fields.